review. Book one naman is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. He is the author of the book Triggered to Change a Life Full of Turbulence. No other than Mr. John Carter. Welcome to Book 101, Mr. John, and can you please introduce more about yourself?
Daniel, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here.
You are most
Again,
welcome.
my name is John. I'm a personal trainer. I live in Brookline, Mass. It's a suburb of Boston. And I just wrote my book. I'm here to promote it.
Yes, indeed. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. Mr. John, what inspired you to write the book about turning life's turbulence into a catalyst of change?
What inspired me to write my book is, Daniel, I come from a very unconventional childhood. My father was in the mob, the mafia, organized crime, and my life was full of crime growing up. It was part of my childhood. It was a very loving house, but a criminal house. And my father was my best friend, Daniel. And when he passed away, I want to wear his shoes. I want to be like him, Daniel.
Yes.
But immediately I found that I do not wear his size, and this world was not cut out for me. So immediately I found myself in a world of trouble, Daniel. This man, instead of paying me a gambling debt, decided to try to assassinate me by shooting me in the back of the head. And this is what inspired me to write my story. I went through all this, and Daniel, being shot in the back of the head was the easy part of my story, as it spiraled out of control with drug addictions, prison stay, and a bunch of other things, Daniel. So what inspired me to write this book, Daniel? I'm going to jump to a part where of my story that's a little further on. I had to enter a halfway house. I was an alcoholic. I was trying to get recovery at this point. And I rolled in. I had to meet the executive director of the halfway house to get accepted. And I rolled into her office, Daniel. And in comes a woman. She's walking, and I see her bouncing around, walking wobbly. And she proceeds to tell me her story, Daniel, how she was in a cocaine-induced coma and had a serious aneurysm from it. And she was in a wheelchair for years, Daniel. And she told me about her story. And I remember looking at her. I said, I cannot believe she got out of this wheelchair. The wheelchair, Daniel, the wheelchair was prison. I couldn't believe it. This is the first time in my life that I was aware that someone overcame something like this. And I'm looking at her, and she's telling me a story. And I said to myself, Daniel, I said, you know what? She did it, so can I. So, Daniel, I wrote this book because I wanted other people to have the feeling that I did. I want someone to read my book and say, well, she did it. He did it. You know something? So can I, Daniel. So can I. And that's what
Ve-
inspired me to write the book.
Very well said, Mr. John. And again, congratulations. And hoping people will empowered and inspired. How do you define triggers in the context of personal growth, and why are they pivotal to transformation?
I'll tell you, Daniel, the way I got into personal training and fitness to begin with, and this is how what transformed my world, Daniel. I I would when I was in my wheelchair before I went to the halfway house. I was addicted to drugs, obviously, and I became a drug dealer. I was 330 pounds, sitting in a wheelchair, full of depression, selling drugs now. I'm an alcoholic. I'm caught up in the world, and I just sold drugs to support my habit. Well, one day, Daniel, the police didn't find this too amusing, and they kicked in my door. They arrested me. They found drugs, money, all, and they arrested me. Daniel, I got bailed out, and this is when I entered the halfway house. After the halfway house, I had to go to prison, Daniel. I had to face my fears. I went into prison for 7 years. You know, I got a 10-year sentence, and I served 7. But when I went to jail, my first day, 3 guys entered my cell, Daniel, and I was petrified. And I had a good name. My father was involved in organized crime, so I had a name in that field. So the guys went there to harm me, and they said, "We're here to help you." Daniel, for months, they took me to the prison gym, and I was getting stronger and stronger, using that chair less and less. And who would have thought guys in prison would have gave me this inspiration to get better? And Daniel, I felt it physically, but you know what? I felt it mentally, Daniel. I was not alone no more. My whole life, I felt alone, and I was not alone anymore. And I did it, Daniel. I did it. I learned fitness and how it helps the mind and the body and how it inspires to get better. Daniel, when I got out of prison, that's what I did. I went far and I became a personal trainer. And that's what inspired me to get better and fit. And I feel that it helped a lot of people mentally, Daniel, mentally. And that's what changes us, our mind.
Totally, you're not alone, Mr. John. We are here to support you. What practical tools or framework does the book offer to help readers reframe their struggles?
Daniel, like I was saying, when someone reads my book, they're going to say, you know something? This kid did it. I'm going to go for it. I can do this. Daniel, I don't care what the challenge is. If it's a challenge, it's a challenge, Daniel. I don't care. If you're fighting it, you can get over it. And I was taught, actually, it's another reason why I wrote the book. I wanted people to read it. Daniel, I did a TED Talk. My client heard my story and said, you know what? You have to do a TED Talk. Daniel, when I seen the receiving of the people that received my message, I got a standing ovation on stage. I could not believe it. This was my first time talking. And I said, you know what? I've seen my story intrigue my clients and inspire my clients. Now I see my story inspiring an audience, well received. I said, I have to get my story out there more. And this is how I chose to do it, my book.
Yes, indeed. Through your book, Mr. John, how do you address the fear of uncertainty that often accompanies life's trigger moments?
Daniel, this is a funny story. Like, when I say never give up, never quit, Daniel, I'm going to tell you a story about this. When I was shot, I entered a coma. I was in a coma for 90 days, Daniel. 90. And it was one long dream. one long dream. But Daniel, it wasn't just a regular dream. It was very pinpoint and very precise. It was like a whole life. And the moral of this dream was we were in a hospital. I didn't know what was wrong with me. And every day we had a swim race. And the winner of the swim race got to go home. Again, this is a dream now. Daniel, it hurt so bad to get in that pool. I didn't want to do it anymore. And this is the first time in my life I said, I quit. I'm not doing it no more. I'm done with this. Daniel, an old man who I have no idea who it was, sat in my bed. And he said, John, you're not going to quit. You're not alone, and I'm going to help you. I'm going to coach you. Daniel, he took me down to the pool, and he trained me. He coached me, gave me inspiration. Now it's the day of the big race, Daniel. He gets me down to the pool. He's cheering me. I'm swimming. I hit the wall, and I woke up. That's what taught me not to quit, Daniel.
Yes, try until you succeed. People don't ever quit. Can you walk us through the specific chapter or story that embodies the book's core philosophy?
Daniel, my philosophy is through every chapter. It's story after story of places where I could have quit and I could have given up, but I didn't. I explained lessons that my dad taught me throughout the years, teaching me not to quit, not to give up. And it's through my whole book, Daniel. It's just not one chapter. It's through my whole book. I want to give points of inspiration through my whole book. And my book, Daniel, Trigger to Change, it's only 60 pages. And I did this for two reasons. Daniel, I'm not an author. I hate to say that, but I'm not. Daniel, I did not graduate high school. I dropped out in the 11th. And I did not pay attention to the previous 10, Daniel. So Lord knows I'm no scholar. But I didn't want a ghostwriter or somebody else writing my book. I wanted the story to come from me, Daniel. I wanted my story, my words. So I didn't fluff up with a bunch of fluffiness. It's my story. And I kept it at 60 pages. And I wanted it as a one read through. Somebody to read the book from page one right through. Like there's no table of contents in my book. It's just a straight read. That's what I'm hoping for. And I wrote my book like I did my TED Talk, Daniel. I seen a lot of TED Talks that weren't successful, and I watched them. And I said, why? For the first 30 seconds, you didn't grab the attention. So when I did my TED Talk, I said, you know what? I'm going to get them, and they're going to listen to my TED Talk. Daniel, no one got out of their seats. No one did anything. I grabbed their attention, and I did. So that's what I wanted the book for. I wanted to grab their attention, so they're not going to put it down. They're going to read right through it. And here's another story, Daniel. I read a lot of my reviews I get, like on Amazon, and so many of them said, once I picked the book up, I couldn't put it down, and I read right through it. And that's exactly what I wanted, Daniel.
Indeed, Mr. Jan, you grab the attention of all of us. What's a common mistakes people when trying to overcome challenges, and how does your book guide them?
And first of all, it guides them that they don't quit. They don't give up. And they can do this. I give them example of problems that I face that I got through, Daniel, by not quitting and not being alone, asking for help, Daniel. Asking for help, like the executive director of the halfway house, prisons in jail. A lot of people have helped me through my life. For example, I volunteer for a charity called Service Dog Project. I walk with a 200-pound Great Dane. And actually, the proceeds of this book is helping this charity. And this charity, they change lives, Daniel. But like I said, never being alone, I'm with a 200-pound Great Dane 24 hours a day. Daniel, I never feel alone anymore. I work out and I train in my gym because this is my medication, Daniel. This is my medication for depression. My gym, my gym is my medication, and I'm not alone because of that. I can be in my mind, but I'm never alone, Daniel. I always have people beside me.
Yes, indeed, Mr. John, you never be alone. And as an author, what are your short term and long term goals?
Well, right now, Daniel, I'm marketing my book. But my dad always taught me to know your weaknesses. And Daniel, being a marketer is definitely a weakness of mine. So I hired a intern from college as a PR assistant, and he is totally awesome. So now I can concentrate just on talking, and this is what I want to do. I love talking, and I love training. I love training in my gym, and that's what I do, Daniel. And promoting my book, like Wednesday night, I had my first book signing my intern set all up for me. The kid's amazing, Daniel.
Totally amazing. Yes, truly, truly amazing. And good luck to your goals, Mr. John, and hoping for more and more and more success. And what would be your piece of advice for those people out there want to be like you, to be a coach, to be an author, or whatever they want to be in life?
Face your fears. Do not quit. You got this. And if you want to write a book, I'll tell you it's a great, great, great experience. I love. Trust me, it's emotional. There was a lot of ups and downs of writing the book, but overall, it was a fantastic experience, Daniel. Fantastic.
Priceless, people, priceless once you publish a book, as Mr. John talking about. And thank you for your advice, Mr. John. And if you could distill the book's message into a single mantra, what would it be?
Say this again, Daniel. I'm sorry, I missed that.
If you could distill the book's one message into a single mantra, what would it be?
Daniel, I'm going to say just inspiration, motivation
To whom?
to who's ever reading the book. It's going to inspire them, Daniel. If you're facing a challenge and you read this book, you will fight it. You will fight your challenge. There's no doubt you're going to fight it.
Don't quit, people. Don't quit. How
That's
do
right, Daniel.
how do
Daniel, I
cultural?
got to add one more thing.
Yes, go ahead.
If any of your guests, any of this audience is ever in Boston, they get in touch with me and drop your name, Daniel. I'm gonna treat them like gold.
Totally, totally agree with you, Mr. John. You will treat them as gold. And before we wrap up our discussion today, Mr. John, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is on fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, book 101 review in fifth season, and comedy 101 in second season, and food 101 in its fifth season too, geography 101 in fourth season, and my baby podcast Law 101 and Mental Health 101. Love letters in third season, movie 101 review in its fourth season, as well as my music 101 and science 101 and sex 101 in its first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. Mr. Johns, what's next for you? Will this book lead to workshops, follow-up projects, or new explorations for this theme?
I'm hoping to get speaking engagements thing. Now that's what I love to do. I love speaking with people, inspiring people. I love what I do. That's what I hope comes out of this, Daniel.
Well, good luck for that, Mr. John Carter. Again, thank you so much for sharing your book to the world, triggered to change a life full of turbulence. And can you please invite our listeners to support your book itself?
Please, I would love that. And Daniel, your audience will love reading my book. They're going to be helping a great charity because Service Dog Project is an incredible charity. And
Yes.
Daniel, God bless and thank you so much.
Yes, people, I support Mr. John Carter because if you support him, more and more and more empowering books like this to come, more and more advocacy like this to come. So, Mr. John, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, my friend.
More to come, people. See you soon.